Hi everyone, it's Justine here from House of Mahalo. So I just thought I would pop on and show you a flip through of my this Christmas journal. It's the second one I've made this year. So if you would like to see inside, come along and watch as I flip through it for you. So the cover is fabric. It's vintage upholstery fabric in gold, and it's got this lovely texture to it. The underside is a junk mail envelope, so it's although the fabric gives it some kind of structure, it is soft covered, it's fabric covered. So on the front we've got a series of laces and along the spine as well, and we have this beautiful vintage image of a Father Christmas. This is from a book, and the closure is actually this gold trim which goes all the way round, and it's tied together with this vintage brooch, which I'm not sure if you'll be able to see too well on camera, but it's a gold vintage brooch with pearls on it, and it's also got green, red, white and black sort of jewels, gems inside it. And my thinking behind this really was I wanted it to mimic Father Christmas's sash. So here's his belt buckle, here's his sash, and of course here is our Father Christmas on the front. That's kind of what I wanted it to look like. And I've added some gold protectors on the corners as well. So to open it up, you just undo the brooch on the front. Can be a little bit fiddly, but I really liked the look that it gives on there. So here you are, and this just comes off like so. And of course, because it's glued all the way around, and I think I also stitched through, yes I did, I stitched it onto the cover as well, you're not going to lose your closure. It just sort of, you know, moves out of the way for you. Okay, so make sure we've got you all in. So here we go, here's what we've got. So the inside is scrapbook paper, just to give the cover a little bit more structure. And I've also reinforced the spine with some Christmassy fabric. You can just about see the mistletoe down the middle. I've got some gold ruffle here. There's a bit of sparkle in the fabric just to give it that little something extra. Here we have a book page pocket that I've decorated up. I did make this one on camera. And inside we've got these two little tags with tea-dyed paper on the back for you to write on. And I've done this in all of my Christmas journals this year, is I've added these labels to the top, blank labels, because I thought this could be a really nice place for someone to write their name, you know, to say that the journal is theirs. There is also space in the back for something else. I'm going to put a bookmaker's note in there, but of course you could put your own thing in there. Obviously I've glued it on 3 sides, so there's space at the back. So moving on to the pages, we've got Edith Holden here. We've got this lovely picture of Holly. On the back here I've added this pocket, and I've just decorated it up with some lace, some fussy cuts from a Stamperia Christmas pad, and we have this sentiment on the front: "May the joy thou lovest best stay with thee, a welcome guest." And I believe that's from, you know, it would be a vintage sort of saying, what they would have said back in the day, I suppose. Tucked inside there I've got this journal card, which is some beautiful red flowers. I appreciate they're probably not wintry flowers, but I just really liked the colours for, you know, all of the red you're going to see. And then that is from a book, and I've backed it onto a cereal box, so you've got this really nice buff brown card on the back, and then I've just stitched around to give you that little something extra around the outside. Okay, we've got tea-dyed paper here, and as you can see I do a little bit of a pattern with a plastic doily, and then on the back it's more generic tea-dyed, I suppose. Here we've got some Christmassy scrapbook paper, which I folded up into a pocket and decorated up with this Stamperia fussy cut and some lace. And then inside we've got this index card, which I've just added some stickers and fussy cuts and things to. And we're backed onto green scrapbook paper, same as the front there that you can see, which you can write on, no problem. So that just sits in there. Excuse me. And then I've also got this Christmassy tag. It looks kind of like a Christmassy mail, I suppose. You know, you've got the stamp and stuff there. And then I've just inked around it, and on the back side I've got some star stenciling, same as you can see on the index card there, just to give it that something extra. Over the page we've got this paper clip with some pink beads. You can just about see those, so I'll just move you over a bit, maybe you'll be able to see a bit better. Just some pink beads. Clipped in there we've got this Stamperia journal card, which I've also backed with another piece of Stamperia paper, just to give it this nice snowy effect on the back, and then I've stitched around it. Here I have left this scrap paper blank, because you can either turn it into a writing spot like you'll see in my first Christmas journal. I have got a video on my YouTube channel for that. Or I thought I would leave it blank because you might want to use this as somewhere to place a photo or something else. So I've left that up to you to decide what to do with it. Here we've got a fabric flip in this beautiful red and green Christmassy sort of colours. And once you lift this up, you've got this really fun writing space. So if you can see here, there's all of these circles. They kind of reminded me of either gift tags or snow globes or, you know, something of that sort of vein. You know, I thought this would be really fun to write on. It's from a colouring book, this paper, so I thought that would be quite fun. And then I've just popped this sentiment down on the bottom with a little fussy cut of some holly, just to give it that little something extra when you flip it up. Moving on, so the back of the paper was this sort of stripy, you know, all these stripes going on, which I didn't think was quite the nicest thing to see. So I've tried to dull that down a little bit by adding this green and gold wrapping paper to the back. And then I've also added this vintage Christmas card, which is a really nice, it's got slightly glittery, it brings in some more of the gold, which you can see on this page. And the best thing is, we open all the way out for lots more journaling space, which hopefully you can see there. On the inside, so that it wasn't just plain white, I've stenciled some more stars onto it for you, but there's loads and loads of journaling space there. And of course you've got this sentiment and this nice note from somebody actually sending this Christmas card. And I've turned that whole card into a pocket, so it's glued on 3 sides. And I've just tucked in this gold scrapbook paper. It's slightly embossed, slightly textured. You could either use that in some clusters, you could write on it, you could do more of that, it's completely up to you. Here we've got some book page. I've pulled out the Christmassy book pages from an old travel log, and this one has obviously some stockings hanging around the fireplace, which I thought was really lovely. And then I've just added this cluster detail to bring in some more of the gold. And as you can see, all of the colours, the reds, the golds, the yellows, the greens, the blues, they all go together. Okay, moving on over the page, we have got a double pocket. So there's a fair amount going on in this little pocket, so I'll take you through it. So we have got a pocket in the back. This is the back of the book page, and it's got this really nice picture of some houses at night in winter. And tucked in there, I've got these two. I've got a journal card and I've got a tag. Both of them are vintage images from an old book, and they're all related to being around the Christmas tree. So this one is backed onto scrapbook paper, the same green that you've seen a few times. And this one is backed onto cereal box to give you this buff brown card at the back. My thoughts for these were, because it's glowing, you know, glowing in the light and they're at Christmas and it's in the dark and everything, it kind of reminded me and made me think, could these people be in the houses here? That was why I chose to do that. So they're just tucked into there. You could of course replace them with something else. And then in the front we've got this little pocket in the front there, and I just got these tucked in, which we've got a tag there saying ho ho ho, another little tag, this little sentiment with love just backed onto some scrapbook paper, and this is a sticker, but I really liked it for the you know, all of the red, so you could use that if you would like. So I've just got those tucked in there, partly to show that there was a tuck spot, but also you could use these pieces as clusters, or you could put them on your gifts, whatever you like. Moving on, we've got some tea-dyed graph paper there, And this is where we've got quite a bit of writing space. So we've got, this is vintage paper from an old dictionary. It's got a really nice, almost like an onion skin kind of texture. Here we have a book page from, this is a book, it was a vintage book, and it was all about nature and botanicals throughout the year. So I've pulled out some of the December pages. This is one of them. This is talking about evergreens. Please note that this book page does have a religious reference on it where it says, when God made trees, he must have known, and it goes on from there. I just wanted to call that out in case that does, you know, have a bearing on how you view the journal. I didn't want to cover it up. I really liked the sentiment, and I thought it was, you know, some nice imagery and things. Moving on, there's the back of the book page. Again, I wanted to keep this as a spot for you to read about. So again, it follows the same sort of vein as the previous page. Here we've got some scrapbook paper, which I actually thought would make a really nice place for you to pop a photo. It could be a nice photo mat. And then it's wide on the back, so you could decorate this up further or you could write on that. We've got some splashy tea-dyed paper, which I thought was really fun. And then some more splashy paper on the back. Here we've got a book page. This comes from the Edith Holden Christmas book, or the Country Diary Christmas book, I think it's called. So I really like this for the holly, and of course you can read all about Christmas trees in this case. Of course you can write on this, you can decorate it up further, you can cover it. I've left a lot of this journal. I've tried to give you a lot of inspiration for what you could do with it, but I've also tried to keep it open for you to do what you like with it as well. So, you know, the choice is yours. On the back there, we've got this paper clip just with some fun danglies coming off of it. A snowy scene here with some ivy. Again, you could do more with this if you like. I just really liked the imagery. And then I've tucked into there this little junk journal tag, which I've made from a bubble mailer, some Christmassy fabric, and I've popped a picture of a dahlia on the front. Again, I know it's probably not a Christmas flower, but I really liked the reds and the greens. Moving on, we've got parchment paper, and you can see through there, it's slightly see-through. You might be able to see that on camera, where you can see through to the other side. And on the back there, we've got this vintage music cover sheet, and it was called Christmas Party. Because it was quite large, I couldn't get the whole amount in, but I did manage to get the Christmas part. And then you've got, as you can see here, this is where the C is made from holly and a tree. So I thought that was really interesting to look at. I didn't want to cover it. Of course you can if you would like. Here's the back of that music cover. So we actually have some music sheet here. I've added this gold ruffle, same as the fabric ruffle at the front, with this shimmery gold. I didn't want to add too much more to this. Again, you could write here if you would like. You could decorate up more. You could do more of this. So I wanted to give you that option to do that. Here we've got some grungy tea-dyed paper with a little snippet at the bottom. This is made from various scraps from the project that I just felt like we needed to use them up. Use up our scraps as much as we can. And it says at Christmas. And I've just stitched around with some wonky stitching. And there's the back of the tea-dyed paper. Here's that onion skin sort of vintage dictionary paper. It does have markings on it. That is actually on the book page itself from it being vintage, so, you know, just bear that in mind. This paper comes from a 1953 encyclopedia, and as you can see, we've got some dates for December running through it. These are obviously 21st, 22nd, etc. Christmas Day and Boxing Day come a bit later on, which you'll see in a minute. And then you can write on the back as well, so I thought that was a really nice writing area. Here we've got some tea-dyed polka dot paper, just for a bit of fun, again, more writing space. Here we've got some Stamperia Christmas paper with these lovely poinsettias, and I've added this red lace trim down the side, just to give it something extra along the page, bring in some more of the red, and of course you've got all this lovely, lovely space for writing. In the middle, you can see all of the lovely red from the back of the scrapbook paper, and then I've just turned these two spots into writing areas for you. And then we've got some fuzzy cuts, so we've got a Christmas tree and a piece of holly, both from the Stamperia pad. On the back here we've got the back of the Stamperia pad, which is just a lovely, lovely writing spot. And we have also got this decorative edge at the top, which, believe it or not, is a tuck spot. I know this is really tiny. It is a tuck spot all the way along like this. So I thought what would be really nice, you could obviously tuck some note paper in there or something for extra journaling space. But what I thought would be really nice is if you wanted to use it for this, you could pop a photo underneath there, tucked inside, so that when you pull the photo out, you've then got all of this writing space hidden behind that. So I wanted to leave that open to you to decide what you'd like to do with it. There's that polka dot tea-dyed paper. Here's the encyclopedia paper, and there you can see where it says Christmas Day and Boxing Day. Here's the onion skin vintage dictionary paper, this time saying notes on it. We've got a cluster detail here, which I've made from scraps of fabric, and also a gold vintage button. We've got another paper clip here with the same pink and gold beads as before. And tucked into there we have another vintage Christmas card, this time with a snowy village scene on it. And again, same as before, it opens right up for extra journaling. And this paper has got a really, really nice smooth texture to it, just in case you do like your different textures of paper, like myself. Here we've got some more music sheet. Again, I've left this up to you to decide what you'd like to do with it. Again, because there is enough space on here to write little notes, but you could also add more to this page if you would like. And again, we've got the same sparkly gold ruffle at the bottom, which kind of acts a little bit like a page turner to help you turn the page. Here's the back of the vintage music cover. Again, I didn't want to cover this up because it's got some really lovely vintage writing on here. But again, you could do more with this. You could add flip outs, you could turn it into a journal spot, you could put a photo on there. It's completely up to you. I wanted to give you enough opportunity to do that yourself. Here we've got the back of the parchment paper, and again, like before, you can see through it, and you can see through to the holly on the other side, which I really liked there. Again, this comes from the Country Diary Christmas book. We have a tuck spot here in the shape of an altered paper clip with this sort of flag-shaped Christmassy fabric on it. And tucked behind there, we've got this journal tag. This is from the Stamperia pad. On the back we've got gingerbreads and biscuits, Christmassy biscuits. Now I haven't backed this. Normally I would back them with tea-dyed paper or something like that to give you, you know, a proper writing space. I haven't done that, partly because I really liked the gingerbread paper, but also because I actually thought it gives you the opportunity then. You could turn that into a writing space if you like, but you could also, what would be really nice if you wanted, was to have a photo on there. So you could still see, you know, if you had a small photo here, for example, you could still see all of the gingerbreads around from the paper. But then when you sort of pull that off, you've got your nice memory on the back. That's kind of what I was thinking. So again, it's up to you how you would like to go about that. And of course behind there we've got the book page with this vintage Christmas tree, which I just thought was lovely. No way was I covering that up. Here we've got some tea-dyed paper again. This one has markings from the tea dyeing process, which I just thought I keep those on there because I think it adds interest. So, you know, just adds a little bit of a something, and it actually gives you this little box for you to write in. Just that's what I would do. And then we've got the splashy tea-dyed effect that I like to do a lot. Here we've got the back of the scrapbook paper, again as a photo map potentially, or you could add a writing spot to it. Here is just some vintage paper. It's got a really nice feel, blank on both sides for writing, and there's the back of the vintage dictionary, again saying notes. There's the tea-dyed graph paper. Now I've doubled up the washi here, just because you were only getting a little glimpse of it, and I really like this washi with the green and the gold on it. So I did another layer of washi tape just so that you could see it extra. That's the only reason I've done that, and I've done it on both sides, just to yeah, just as a decorative thing. Here we've got a belly band, and tucked inside there we've got a journal card. This is made from a book page, an image cut from a book, I should say, that I've backed onto cereal box and tea-dyed paper, and then I've stitched around. So that just tucks in there like that. Here we have another paper clip so you could use it on both sides if you like, or you could exchange that for something else. And then just clipped in there, we've got this this tag, same as before. I haven't covered up this gingerbread scrapbook paper just because I really like it. And again, I thought, you know, it could be a photo spot, you could turn it into a writing spot, it's completely up to you. Here I haven't covered up this book page because there's enough space to write around here, and you might want to read, this is a travel log written on December 24th, so it will be lots of Christmassy text for you to read. On this side we've got an image cut from a book which I've added onto some scrapbook paper to give you this little flip out. So here's the back of the scrapbook paper. Again, I've left it blank because I thought you could either turn this into a writing spot if you'd like, or this would be a really nice spot for a photo, you know, a hidden photo and everything just for you. So again, the choice is yours as to what you do with that. Of course, this little flip hides these two, and it's a double pocket this time. So there's a pocket in the back, and I've slipped in this journal card again from the Stamperia pad, also backed onto that snowy scrapbook paper. There is space to write on the back if you would like, or you could pop something else there. It's completely up to you. That just tucks in there like so. And then in the front we've got this tiny little pocket which says Jolly Christmas, and I've just tucked in this little heart-shaped tag which came from a scrapbooking kit. But that was really just to show, you know, there's a little tuck spot there, so you could pop some little tickets in, some little mementos, something like that, just a nice little one. Okay, moving on, we've got washi tape down the side there, again just for that decorative edge, and there's that more of that colouring book page paper that gives you the fun circles to write in. Here we've got the back of the scrapbook paper, and for this one I've added on this book page pocket. And I've just tucked in this Stamperia journal card, which again is really pretty and looks really lovely to write on. Now I've glued this pocket on two sides and just like a slight little lip here. So you can actually fit a lot more in there. As you can see, this goes right the way down. I've just tucked that in there for, you know, for writing space, but you could put photos in there, you could put a Christmas card in there, stuff like that. On the back we have another sort of turn-up pocket, this time with a sentiment talking about, you know, spending time with friends. Never a Christmas morning, never the old year ends, but someone thinks of someone, old days, old times, old friends. And tucked inside there, I've done this with all my Christmas journals this year. I've made little notebooks out of packaging. So this one, they just untie with this twine. And we've got a decorative piece on here from a book page, and it says a Merry Christmas. And then inside it's just a selection of tea-dyed and vintage papers that would just be offcuts from making the journals. And this one has a little bit of collage detail on the back. And the only reason I was doing that is just to add strength to the paper bag, because, you know, it was a little bit thin. So the detail on the front and back are decorative, sure, but they also make the notebook nice and sturdy. Okay, here we've got this vintage envelope tucked in. This is the tea-dyed paper. This is from 1980, obviously, and we've got a selection of these beautiful, colourful Christmas stamps on it. On the back, plenty of space to write or decorate or do what you like with it. And then inside, we've got this card that came with the envelope, all about the history of Christmas, traditions at Christmas. It's a really nice read about Christmas. And of course, there's space on the back. You could decorate it, you could write on it. I didn't do that for you because, being vintage, I don't like to alter vintage stuff unless it's for my own journals that I'm keeping for myself. For, you know, for the ones that I sell, I don't want to do that for you. You're well within your rights to do whatever you like to this envelope, but I want you to make that decision, so that's why it's left plain. And of course, you know, if you want to write on it, then, you know, by all means, there's plenty of writing space. Here's again some tea-dye paper. You can see here some slight decoration from plastic doily is how I do that. And here's the back of the Edith Holden book page. mistletoe on that side, wintry bird scene on this side. Again, plenty of space to ride around or do more with these pages. Yeah, plenty of space to write there, and obviously gives you more of the Christmassy, wintry images to look at. Just checking your own frame, okay. Here we have some more gold ruffle running down the back side. We have another Christmassy book page pocket. Again, I made something similar on camera. And inside we've got these two tags, which are both backed with lined tea-dyed paper to give you writing spots, or you could use them as gift tags even, whatever you like. And tucked into the back there, this pocket is glued on 3 sides to give you a little, a back pocket. And I've just tucked in this journal card from the Stamperia pad. It says wish list on the back, so that could be a fun spot to write your Christmas list. Or you could of course replace that with something else. And that's everything. So here's, I realised I didn't show, I like to show, when I use ruffles and beads and stuff, I like to show how it looks from the top. Hopefully you can see the ruffle details and the beads and everything. So as I say, the brooch just holds everything together, so you just go through this piece of fabric or trim through the front as well, just to keep them both tied together like that, and it gives you a nice sturdy closure. Just so you know, so you're on the same page, I've left this hanging down, partly to make it look like a sash, but also because it actually gives you extra room for the journal to grow. So obviously it can come out more should you start adding in, you know, photos and extra writing spots and various things that you're going to do. Of course, I haven't talked about measurements or number of pages. All of that will be in the Etsy listing. I figured, you know, if you are interested in purchasing the journal, then all of that will be listed in the listing, rather than me talking about that now and trying to remember all the numbers. So that's that. Is there anything else I need to tell you? So yeah, as I say, if this is not already on my Etsy shop, then it will be soon, you know, today, tomorrow, so look out for that if you are interested. And I think that's everything you need to know. Of course, if there's any questions, anything that you want to know about it, just let me know, and I'll do my best to help you. As always, thanks so much for watching. I hope you like this journal as much as I do. I love it. I really like the concept of, you know, Father Christmas and his sash and this vintage brooch. It's, you know, it was something different for me to do a closure like this. Normally I do an eyelet and lace closure, but, you know, this added something special, I think, to this one. So yeah, I hope you like it as much as I do. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.